Ever feel that jolt of panic when someone says, tell us a little bit about yourself, especially, in English? You're definitely not alone.
Oh, absolutely not. It's probably one of the most common hurdles I see people face. It's not really about their English level, interestingly enough.
Welcome to English Life Skills Hub. I'm your host, Anna, and I'm genuinely excited to tackle this topic today. It's a big one.
And I'm Alex, here to share some insights from my work, helping people communicate more effectively.
Yeah, you're so right. Introducing yourself confidently in English. It just feels like this universal challenge sometimes.
It really does. I mean, even for me sometimes, if I'm suddenly put on the spot in a new setting,
Right.
my mind just goes blank for a second.
Uh-huh.
It's that pressure, isn't it?
Yeah.
That need to make a good first impression.
That pressure is totally real. I was actually at a professional workshop not long ago, and I watched this brilliant engineer, incredibly smart in his field,
Yeah.
visibly struggle when he was just asked to introduce himself to a small group. He had so much to offer, but that simple act felt overwhelming.
And it just hammered home for me that this isn't about how smart you are or even how many words you know. It's like a specific skill and maybe a mindset thing too.
Oh, that resonates completely. That feeling of your heart racing and suddenly you can't find the English words you know. It's so frustrating.
And, it often comes down to this widely accepted idea in communication.
Mm-hmm.
People form that first impression incredibly quickly.
Right.
We often talk about the 7-second rule.
7 seconds, really?
Yeah, roughly 7 seconds. Within that time, someone's already making these pretty significant judgments about your confidence, your approachability, maybe even like your competence. And it's based heavily on those first verbal cues and the nonverbal ones too.
Wow, 7 seconds. That sounds, kind of terrifying, but also maybe a little empowering.
Exactly. That's the flip side.
If we know those first few seconds aren't that critical, we can actually prepare for them, right?
Yeah.
Intentionally.
Precisely. And that's really our mission today, to help you navigate those crucial moments, make them feel less like a threat and more like, an opportunity.
Fantastic. So in this session, we're going to dig into why introductions matter so much, especially in certain cultural contexts like the U.S. We'll give you a really flexible structure that I found works wonders. We'll share some useful phrases that just sound natural. And you're going to talk about the nonverbal stuff, right? The body language, the voice, which is huge.
Absolutely. We'll definitely cover that.
Yeah.
And we'll look at how you actually adapt your introduction for different real-life spots. Because introducing yourself in class is, totally different than a job interview or just a casual get-together.
Good point.
Plus, we'll flag some common mistakes people often make, things to watch out for, and really importantly, share some actual strategies to help you feel more confident when you do it.
Okay. Sounds like it's going to be packed with practical stuff. So starting off, from your experience, why do introductions carry so much weight, maybe particularly in American culture?
Yeah, that's a really good place to start. From what I've seen, American culture often leans toward being pretty relationship-focused, at least in those initial interactions.
Okay.
So that first introduction, it's not just like ticking a box. It's seen as an opening, a chance to connect. It really sets the tone for whatever follows.
Right.
Think about, say, an academic setting. A clear, confident introduction on day one. That can help you find study partners, maybe catch a professor's eye for research opportunities, or even just build rapport that could lead to recommendations later.
And I guess professionally, it's even more critical.
Oh, definitely. Your introduction is often the very first glimpse a potential employer or client gets of your communication skills. I've seen really strong candidates, amazing resumes, but they kind of stumble over that basic, tell me about yourself, and it just leaves a shaky first impression. A good intro signals you can handle meetings, present ideas clearly, work well with a team, all that stuff.
Okay. What about just socially? American social interactions can feel quite direct sometimes.
They can be, yeah. And in those social settings, a warm, direct introduction is often the difference between connecting with people and, standing awkwardly in the corner by yourself.
True.
It's how you signal you're open to chatting. People generally appreciate that directness and friendliness. It can really change the whole vibe of an event for you.
Okay, the importance is crystal clear. So let's get practical. The how. You mentioned a structure. What's a reliable way listeners can frame their introduction no matter where they are?
Right. So this is a method I've developed and used a lot, and it's super versatile.
Yeah.
I call it the present, past, future framework.
Present, past, future. Okay, I like that. Sounds simple, logical.
Exactly. The idea is to break it down into 3 manageable parts. First, present. Who are you right now?
Yeah.
Your name, your current role, maybe what you're focusing on at this moment.
Got it.
Second, past. What's some relevant background or experience? Maybe a key achievement that adds a bit of context or credibility. Keep it brief, keep it relevant. And third, future. What are you looking forward to? Maybe something related to why you're there or a broader goal. This shows enthusiasm and, crucially, it often opens the door for more conversation.
That structure makes so much sense. It gives you a clear path, stops you from just rambling. Can you walk us through a couple of examples, maybe different situations?
Sure, absolutely. Let's imagine a student. First day of a new class, she could say something like, "Hi, everyone, I'm Olivia Kim, and I'm studying marketing with a minor in design this semester." That's her present.
Okay.
Then the past. I got really interested in graphic design last year when I helped create some visuals for a student club event. It's relevant, brief.
Right, connects to them later.
Exactly. And then future. I'm really excited to learn more about how design principles actually apply to marketing in this class and hopefully collaborate on some projects. See how it shows engagement with the class itself.
Yeah, that works really well. It links everything together. Okay, what about something more formal, like a job interview? How would that framework play out?
So same structure, just the details and the tone, obviously. Imagine someone, let's call him Daniel Martinez, interviewing for a marketing job. He might start. Good morning. I'm Daniel Martinez. I'm currently a senior digital strategist, and I have about 5 years of experience managing complex online campaigns. That's his present name, current role, key experience level. The past, focusing on results. In my previous role at, say, Ad Tech Solutions, I specialized in performance marketing for SaaS clients. I actually led a team that increased conversion rates by an average of 35% over 2 years. Specific, quantifiable achievement.
Nice. Very concrete.
And then future, linking to this specific job. I'm particularly drawn to this role because of your company's focus on innovative mobile user acquisition. I'm really eager to apply my skills in that specific area and honestly learn from your team. Connects his goals directly to them.
That is super effective. It's concise, but it packs in who he is, what he's done, and why he's interested, all following that present, past, future logic. Okay, one more. How about something really casual, like a networking event or a party?
Yeah, it scales down nicely. So you're at an industry mixer, maybe. You can just say something like, "Hi there, I'm Marcus. I'm a software developer over at Brightech." Present. Simple. Past, maybe a quick highlight. I've spent the last couple of years focusing mainly on mobile app development, especially working on UI to boost user engagement. Actually, worked on a project last year that saw engagement jump about 40%. Brief, relevant accomplishment.
Still impressive, but fits the context.
Right. And then future, combined with opening the conversation. I came tonight hoping to connect with other developers who might be interested in AI integration. So what brings you here?
Yes, that transition, asking about them, that feels so crucial. It's not just a speech about yourself.
Absolutely critical. I always stress this. An introduction isn't a monologue. It's supposed to be the start of a conversation. You've got to show interest in the other person, too.
Okay, great point. Now let's zoom in on the actual words. Are there specific phrases that just, sound more natural when people are introducing themselves or talking about their work or studies?
Definitely. For starting off, it's good to match the greeting to the situation. Professional setting. Good morning, my name is, or good afternoon, I'm, works well. More casual. A simple, "Hi there, I'm S," or "Hey, I'm," is usually perfect.
Makes sense. And for the what you do part?
Yeah, you'll hear things like, "I work as at," followed by your job title at for the company. Or maybe I'm a job title specializing in your specific area.
Okay.
If you're a student, common phrases are, "I'm studying your subject at your university," or "I'm a freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, majoring in your major." Pretty standard stuff.
I always think adding just a tiny personal touch makes it more memorable. Is there a smooth way to do that without oversharing?
Oh, I totally encourage that. It makes you seem more like a real person, more relatable. Phrases like, "In my free time, I enjoy," or "Outside of work, I'm actually really passionate about," or even, "When I'm not studying, you can usually find me." They work really well.
Yeah.
Just a brief, genuine little detail can make a surprisingly big difference in connecting.
That feels natural. Okay, so we've got the words, we've got the structure, but I know from your expertise that communication is way more than just the words, right? Let's talk nonverbals.
Yes. This is often where I see people unlock the biggest improvements, sometimes with just small tweaks. We know just from experience and lots of research too, that a huge chunk of how your message lands comes from nonverbal cues.
Right.
Your body language, your tone of voice. You could have flawless English grammar, but if your nonverbals are sending a different message, like uncertainty or disinterest, it can totally undermine everything you're saying.
That makes total sense. It's the overall feeling you give off, not just the factual info.
Exactly. So first thing, posture. Whether you're standing or sitting, aim for straight but relaxed. Think. Confident and open, not stiff like a board. Good posture just signals presence and self-assurance.
Okay, posture. What about eye contact? I know that can feel a bit different depending on someone's cultural background.
That's true. Cultural nuances exist. But in many Western cultures, and especially in the U.S., eye contact is really quite important. It's generally read as a sign of confidence, sincerity, and that you're paying attention.
So how much is good?
A good rule of thumb is maybe aiming for contact about 70% of the time you're speaking. And if you're talking to a group, don't just stare at one person or the floor. Let your eyes move around, make brief contact with different people. It includes everyone.
Right, scanning the group. Good tip.
Yeah.
And the voice. You called it a secret weapon earlier.
It really is. Your voice has so much power. I focus on 4 key things with clients: volume, pace, intonation, and emphasis.
Okay, break those down.
Sure. Volume. Basically, speak clearly and loudly enough so people can actually hear you easily. If you speak too softly, it can sometimes come across as lacking confidence. Pace. Find a moderate speed. Not so fast that people get lost, but not so slow that you sound hesitant or, frankly, boring. Intonation. This is about varying the pitch of your voice.
Yeah.
A flat, monotone delivery is really hard to listen to for long. Changing your pitch keeps people engaged.
And emphasis.
Emphasis is about highlighting the key words, the ones you really want people to remember. You can make them slightly louder or change the pitch on them.
Can you give a quick example just to hear the difference?
Sure. Compare saying this flatly. I'm Alex, and I help people with communication. Okay, simple enough.
Yeah.
Now with emphasis. I'm Alex, and I help people with communication. Hear the difference.
Oh, yeah, definitely. The second one immediately tells me your name and your focus area. They pop out.
Exactly. Those emphasized words stick. It guides the listener's attention.
That's a powerful tool. Okay, switching gears slightly. Based on all the people you've worked with, what are some of the most common mistakes or slip-ups you see folks make when they introduce themselves?
Oh, I've seen quite a few. One of the absolute biggest is just information overload. People get nervous, and they feel this urge to dump everything about themselves right then and there. You have to remember, it's an introduction, not, your autobiography. Keep it concise. Keep it relevant to that situation.
Guilty as charged. I've definitely done that before when nervous.
It's so common. Another big one is sort of a lack of apparent confidence. This can show up in hedging language, saying things like, well, I guess I'm kind of a student.
Undermining yourself.
Exactly. Or it shows up in hesitant body language. The key is, even if you feel nervous inside, practicing confident posture and using clear, direct language makes a huge difference in how others perceive you.
What about using the exact same intro everywhere? Is that a pitfall?
Huge pitfall. That's number 3 on my list. Not adapting. Using your job interview intro at a casual party or vice versa. You've got to read the room, adjust to the context.
Right. Makes sense. And you mentioned a couple more.
Yeah, number 4 is simply forgetting to engage. Making the introduction all about you and never turning the focus outward or asking a question. It just shuts down the conversation potential.
The two-way street thing again.
Exactly. And finally, number 5, contradictory nonverbals. Saying you're excited to be there while, your arms are crossed, you're slumped over, and avoiding eye contact. The words and the body language have to match.
Wow, those are all so easy to fall into, especially when you're feeling nervous. Okay, let's wrap up with some really practical, actionable things people can do to build that confidence. What do you recommend?
Well, the single most powerful strategy, honestly, is preparation and practice. It sounds simple, but it works.
How so?
Having that template, like the present, past, future, ready in your mind, maybe even a few variations for different scenarios, it just lowers the stress dramatically. And then practice it. Practice out loud in front of a mirror. Record yourself on your phone. Yeah, it feels awkward at first, but it's so helpful. Practice with a friend. The more you say it, the more it becomes automatic, the more natural it feels when you actually need it.
Okay, practice. What about dealing with those nerves, like right before you have to speak? That knot in your stomach.
Yeah, that's real. I teach simple breathing techniques. One I like is the 4-2-6 breath. You inhale slowly through your nose for a count of 4. Just gently hold it for 2, and then exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 6.
4, 2, 6.
Doing that just 2 or 3 times can actually calm your physiological stress response. It helps activate your parasympathetic nervous system. It works.
Cool. Any mindset tips?
Definitely. Focus on your value. Before you walk into that room, take a moment to actively remind yourself of your strengths, your skills, maybe a recent accomplishment you're proud of. It shifts your focus.
Right, too.
And also, try using positive visualization. Seriously, spend just 60 seconds vividly imagining yourself delivering the introduction, successfully speaking clearly, feeling confident, making a good connection. Your brain often doesn't distinguish strongly between vivid imagination and reality, so it can prime you for success.
So it sounds like every introduction, even if it doesn't feel perfect, is actually a chance to get better.
That's exactly it. Don't aim for perfection, especially at first. Every single time you introduce yourself, it's practice. Afterwards, take a moment to think. What went well? What's maybe one small thing I could try differently next time? And really importantly, celebrate the fact that you did it. You put yourself out there. That's progress.
This has been incredibly useful, really practical advice.
Good, I'm glad. It's truly a skill, and like any skill, it just gets better with focused effort and, well, practice.
So the big takeaway for everyone listening, confidence in introducing yourself isn't about being suddenly flawless or fearless. It's much more about being prepared, practicing those steps, and just allowing your authentic self to come through, even if you're feeling a little bit nervous. It's a skill you build, one introduction at a time.
Couldn't agree more. And I really want to encourage you listening. Try to put some of these tips into practice, maybe even this week. Look for small opportunities. Maybe join an online group discussion, attend a local club meeting, or even just introduce yourself to a new neighbor. Every little bit helps build that muscle.
Perfect advice to end on. Well, that brings us to the close of this deep dive on nailing your self-introduction. If you found this helpful, please do subscribe to our podcast and maybe leave us a review. It really does help other learners find the show.
Yes, please do. And practice that introduction. Let us know how it goes. Maybe share your experiences.
Absolutely. Next week, we're diving into another really essential skill for everyday English, making small talk like an American.
You'll be back with more insights, right?
I will be looking forward to it. Until then, keep practicing those introductions and keep connecting.
Thanks so much for listening to English Life Skills Hub. I'm Anna.
And I'm Alex. Keep learning, keep practicing, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Take care.